Mississippi coast is dominated by several important features. First of all, there is the Mississippi Sound, which is an estuarine system. Several major rivers come into it, several coastal rivers, and it's extremely rich, a very productive fishing area. Outside of the Mississippi Sound, there is a string of barrier islands that are very beautiful wilderness islands with white sand beaches and natural vegetation on them. The inner beaches, the inner areas, include wetlands and marshes, which are incredibly rich, one of the richest environments on Earth. These things are often said to be the nurseries of the sea, and all of the creatures that we find important, crabs, shrimp, most of the fish that people like for one reason or another, spend at least part of their life in these coastal marshes. For people who like to watch birds, this is a legendary place. People come here from all over the country to see an amazing variety of birds that live here because we have a wide variety of habitats, you know. The Nature Conservancy is involved with oysters worldwide, but it's really important here along the northern Gulf of Mexico. Oyster reefs are a seriously degraded habitat worldwide, and they're an extremely important marine habitat. They provide a whole variety of ecosystem services, including things like cleaning the water. They stabilize shorelines. Obviously, they provide seafood. They provide habitat for fish and invertebrates. And they actually help damp out the force of hurricanes.
We have the best shrimp, crab, and oysters in the world, and we produce a lot for this country especially, as well as the rest of the world. This is the time of year when we start with the fishing, and in another month the shrimping would be going on. With all the boats that you see around you, they're sitting idle, and normally this time of year they're starting to move.
Living here for the last couple of weeks has been like waiting for a hurricane to hit, except that usually we know when the hurricane's going to get here. This thing has been, predicted to get here 2 weeks ago, predicted to get here last week, now it's predicted to get here at the end of this week. So one of the big problems is we know it's coming, but we're just not sure when.
What's coming up is what's called the brown shrimp season. We've got a lot of small brownies, and they're probably not going to make it with the situation like it is. There's just so much we don't know, and speculation is basically an evil thing as far as I'm concerned until we know what's going to happen.
What you can do to prepare for this, not a whole heck of a lot. One of the things that you've seen is there's a 1 million feet of oil boom out along the Gulf Coast. And that's one of the best things you can do, try to rope off with these oil booms, particularly sensitive areas. But the booms are not terribly effective if the weather goes bad, like it's trying to today. This high waves and high wind can push oil over the booms or can even break the booms apart. So it's a concern. It's maybe the best we can do, but it's sure not a good answer. There's no way we can boom off the whole Gulf Coast. If the oil comes to Mississippi, it will first hit the barrier islands, which are beautiful, gorgeous places, and it's it's sad to think about that, but there's probably nothing we can do. There's not enough boom in the world to protect it all. So obviously the most important thing is for the crews working on the rig to get the oil stopped. If they can get the oil stopped, and we know exactly how much oil there is out there, then it'll be a lot easier to respond to it.